almost all of his speeches, he forces us to consider the concepts, the beliefs, phenomena that we are used to think about it. Necil is a university instructor and a management consulting trainer. For each of his speeches so far, he has selected a subject to reconsider. He has reconsidered the concepts of pride, fate, postponement, blaming, tourism, etc. Even his own speeches, he has a speech that he reconsidered his speeches. It was a 7th or 8th speech. So, 6th. Please, Necil, stage is yours. Thank you very much.
Inspiration. Well, as Kidan said, I'm supposed to inspire you tonight, which I think is a ridiculous thing, because I'm not an inspirational speaker. But before coming here, I researched the meaning of inspiration from those dictionaries. Actually, it is a stimulation, but it's not only a stimulation, but at the end of the day, you are supposed to, that stimulation is supposed to cause an unusual activity or an extraordinary thing in you. Otherwise, it's just a stimulation, nothing. So, when I went further in researching what the hell this inspiration means, it has to be something sudden. Okay, it can be an advice from a TED speech or a Toastmasters speech, as you're expecting from me, which is an empty expectation. And the result has to be something creative. It has to be something artistic. So, Jidan, I'm sorry. At the end of the evaluation, Chidam is supposed to answer this question. Did the speech uplift the audience and motivate them as the speaker intended? So you can, right now you can write a no there. So I cannot uplift you, or I cannot motivate you in just 10 minutes. It's impossible. Even if you give me 10 hours.
10 hours.
So, well, thinking back my life, I just tried to come up with something. Has anything occurred to me back in my childhood or during my young ages? Something sudden or brilliant idea came to me, or I heard an advice from someone, so that I came up with some creative production or something, I don't know. I was known to draw caricatures of people during my college years. As a matter of fact, at the end of the high school, they made me draw the caricatures of like 80 people, and for the yearbook. Well, I think I had the talent on that, but with the talent you cannot do anything unless you are inspired by someone and you come up with a creative and artistic outcome, something. So what I did was, I went to get the advice of the so-called father of the caricaturists at the time, Uzaral, may his soul rest in peace, and he was managing at the time the Gırgır magazine, which was the Turkey's #1. I mean, today you have Penguin, Uykusuz, Leman, and so on. That Gırgır magazine is the grandfather of all those magazines at the time. So the people with the gray hair. So I have been waiting in the stairs of that publishing building of Gırgır magazine, together with today's comedy writers like Beni Müjde. They are coming from the same stairs. Or caricaturist Latif Demirci, who is now drawing for Hürriyet. So we are coming from the same stairs, waiting for just 5 minutes to see Mr. Uzaral, to show him our work, to get his appreciation, if possible, get his advices, so that we come up with something artistic or creative. So they became someone today. but I didn't, so I didn't. I'm not a cartoonist. So, I can tell you that urge in me to draw has helped me survive the most boring meetings, boring speeches, boring conferences where you do not have an access, or it's embarrassing to have an access to your mobile phone, but you are just stuck with a notepad and a pencil. So, as I told you, this urge in me to draw helped me survive Now, it is not extraordinary. This is ordinary. Because we are in Turkey, and you are coming from New York, right? You are just coming from Vienna. You go to many plazas, many places. There are like hundreds of people who just sit there and they try to take your 30 euros. If you give him 40 euros, he's going to color your caricature, right? So it's not anything extraordinary. So thinking back, what I could do, I think I have something about myself, but I don't want to talk too much about myself. So last week I spoke with my dear friend Misket. So this picture is taken in April, just 7 months ago. Okay? 7 months ago. And Misket, she did not like her appearance, physical appearance at the time. I asked her, Misket, what happened to you? What kind of an inspiration did you have so that within 6 months, such an extraordinary result happened? She is such a modest person that she says, I don't know. I don't know.
TED Talk.
But I know one thing. I asked her, Misket, were you inspired by a TED Talk or a Toastmasters talk? She said no. I said, okay, I have no further questions. Okay. So I think she deserves a congratulation, and in front of you, I would like to kiss her hand. This is really an extraordinary result, an unusual activity, which is within 6 months. She decided to do something, and she did it, which is worth congratulation. We don't know what it was. If she answers to us, okay, my inspiration was this, it might not necessarily fit you or me. That inspiration, whatever it was, fits only her. But you know that it was not a Toastmasters talk, or it was not a TED talk. Now, talking about myself, in 2004, I filed for divorce. I filed for divorce in 2004, and when I filed for divorce, I had an experience and a threat at the same time. My ex-wife said, if you get a divorce from me, you will not be able to see your daughter. So that was a great experience, and that was a great threat. I then had a sudden idea, and at the end of the day, not at the end of the day, but at the end of maybe several years, I created an unusual activity or extraordinary result. I'm going to tell you very shortly what I did. Between 2005 and 2013, I decided to make this public. I found out that in Turkey, if a woman decides, during divorce, if a woman decides not to show her child to ex-husband, she can do it. And the legal system allows her to do it. Unfortunately, there is a great leakage in our legal system. There is something called family courts, and the judges of the family courts are unfortunately from only female judges. I don't know, maybe they think that the female are more fair than male. I don't know. But so-called female courts are managed, or whatever, by female judges. And they allow the ex-wives to keep their children away from ex-husbands. So I decided to make this public, and I appeared on all of national televisions in Turkey. Also, between 2005 and 2013, I appeared in all of the newspapers which are being published in Turkey. Okay? I'm not finished. Finally, in 2013, I was invited to Ankara, being paid by the Ministry of Justice to deliver my findings about the situation and to let them know what kind of changes should be made in the Turkish legal system so that the judges, they become aware of this awful situation. So that was my achievement. That was just 3 years ago. Also, they formed a Parliament Research Commission, and they invited me, paid my flight ticket to go to Ankara and gave a conference to them because I was so famous on this thing. So that is when they formed a commission on this, the first thing that comes to their mind is me. So, and I hear, because we have a platform, we have a website, and we have a mail group on this, I know my achievement is that I hear from so many fathers that they are finally able to reach their children. Because I made this, I named this not father's rights, but they are the children's rights to have access to both parents after divorce. So, if I have created an awareness in this country, now that is an extraordinary result. Okay, so my unusual activity was all this. Okay, my extraordinary result was this, which I created an awareness in family courts and so on, which I made some children meet their fathers after divorce. But what was my stimulation? What was my stimulation? A TED Talk? I can assure you, no. What was my stimulation? My stimulation was stupid act of an ex-wife, right?
Yes.
So, a stimulation does not necessarily have to be a TED Talk or a Toastmasters talk. It can be a very boring something. But you have to make out of that, whatever it is for you, you have to create an unusual activity out of it. Only then I would call it an inspirational stimulus. Otherwise, it's something empty. So every day you see inspirational quotes in social media, in mass media, in TED Talks, YouTube. Here, there are many people walking around. Who are you? I'm an inspirational speaker. How do you know that you are an inspirational speaker? Because I put the words together in such a good format that I talk very nicely and people just listen to me like this and they are like, they adore me. Is that it? Yeah. then are you, the next day or the next week, are you following the people that you have talked with or you have delivered your speech? Whether they have created something unusual or unexpected? No, I just talk to people and I am an inspirational speaker. I say to them, good luck. I'm not an inspirational speaker. And the meaning of inspiration, please go and learn the meaning of inspiration. If you do not have a result at the end of the whatever inspirational speech or advice, you are not an inspirational speaker. I'm so sorry. So, my last word is, whatever stimulus you get, a good one or a bad one, I hope you all get good causes of stimulus and you create good results, extraordinary results or activities, so that people appreciate what you have created.
Wow.